You were sealed in a box with 3 historical figures. Which 3 historical figures would you choose? And while you suffocated, what would you talk about other than how are we going to get out of this box?
Good question.
Is this a Freud question?
That's actually Freud's like great-grandson.
3 historical figures. I would pick the guy from Dr. Hook with the eye patch, because he's kind of an underrated philosopher. Okay. I'd pick Nietzsche, and I'd pick Puff Daddy. And we would talk about how derivative and unimaginative music is a danger on society and creativity.
Cool. Very good.
Thank you. And you actually gave me a painting for my birthday.
Yeah, and
Last
phone
year.
sex too.
Why do you keep doing this? Stop with this phone sex.
She called me. I called like at 2 in the morning, and she started talking dirty to me.
No. I happened to be on medication at the time.
I was too.
I was on medication at the time. No, you are not.
They can't. They said
I was
so
on medication and I thought it was your father.
I think so. Well, my dressing room was right next to Puff Daddy's choir in the basement, because I think they were afraid to let me near the rest of the artists.
Right.
So.
All right, well, let's have a look at Marilyn.
Why the trend in cops kissing, do you think? It's like 2 videos in the past 2 months or 3 months where that's happening.
Well, I think cops inherently represent gay icons.
A couple quick questions here. You covered I Put a Spell on You by Screaming Jay Hawkins.
I did.
That's a great song. Now, he recently died. Did you realize he had sex 21 times a day?
No, but that's a fantastic thing that may have caused his death in some way.
Have you ever been able to compete with that number of all Marilyn 21 times a day for sex? Do you think you'll be able to be up there with Screaming Jay?
I think I'm at 11 is my average.
He also had 57 kids.
That's a lot of kids. A lot of mouths to feed, a lot of skulls to shake.
Now, you have a new
Byproducts of that whole tragedy were violence and entertainment and gun control. And how perfect that was the 2 things that we were going to talk about with the upcoming election. And also then we forgot about Monica Lewinsky, and we forgot about the president was shooting bombs overseas, yet I'm a bad guy because I've sang some rock and roll songs. And who's a bigger influence, the president or Marilyn Manson?
Do you know?
I'd like to think me, but I'm going to go with the president.
Do you know?
Usually people hate what they're afraid of. It's the classic story. I think that even kind of goes back to Jesus, you know. They were afraid and didn't understand him, so they killed him. And I think the same thing kind of exists in music. You know, maybe I should just become a Christian and make them all happy. But I think if I found Jesus, which I didn't know he was lost in the first place, if I did, I don't think he would probably be that much different than me, you know. He's a long-haired guy that likes to, you know, dress sexy. A lot of chicks were into him.
Do you care to elaborate what kind of mistakes you think you've made in the past?
Aside from a few really bad guitar players, not that many. Oh, come on.
Poor Zim fans out there, they're all upset now.
Sorry.
Okay. So that's just it?
But there was one girl that lives here in Canada who unfortunately got Zim tattooed around her stomach. I feel bad for her the most.
Is that you? That's not you, is it?
No, that's not her.
Okay.
Imprisoned for murder. While metal has a core audience, it will never be pop, and he talked about pop's biggest superstar, Lady Gaga, and how she stole from him.
I never had sex with her. These are 4 gay dudes in Halloween costumes. What was the other one? Celine Dion. I saw a picture of Celine Dion's family, and I thought that that they were wearing prosthetics, because they were all so incredibly ugly that it confused me, because I didn't think, you know, I mean, I think that I'm an ugly person, but in a different way. These people were genuinely ugly, and it terrified me, and I have nightmares, so I would never buy that record.
Okay, so you scratch Celine and it's down to Mariah.
Whitney Houston, I'll probably go old school and stick with her. You know, she's got the Bobby Brown story. There's some drugs mixed up, some violence. You know, if there's drugs and violence, I'll buy the record.
And we just
It's the last time we spent some time together, which, by the way, I enjoyed very much.
Last night in the portalette at the MTV party when you were trying to take off our pants, you mean?
Yeah, that was quite interesting, wasn't it? I was trying to take both your pants down.